So you're just segue into how you think League is outliving games in a series, and it doesn't
Right.
make sense because of the trend that video games have, and how you could
Yeah. Okay.
compare League of Legends to, let's just say, an NBA killer. Not really,
Oh,
it'll live
yeah,
akin to
easily.
NBA, but if we were to say, you know,
Oh, no, no. I think it's actually more sleeper than you think, and I'll make it make sense in a second. But
okay,
before I do, I'm going to answer your initial question of why, for me at least, on the loving and resenting, right, League. I genuinely think that League is an addiction at this point for a lot of people, and I think that's where it comes from. I think there is some weird dopamine like spike that gets hit in League that just doesn't hit in
I
any other
know
game the
exactly
same
what it
way,
is, and
and
I'll get
because of
back to
it,
it when you finish.
right, right. And so because of whatever that is, we end up chasing that high that inevitably dilutes down, but it's still because they make all these slight changes, I feel like we never get used to the game, right? Like the game never actually stays the same even though it's on the same map with the same champs and the same shit every game, right? It somehow feels different because there's a patch almost like what weekly now.
Hmm.
So so specifically what I was speaking to about how it could outlive or even affect the NBA. Well, first and foremost, NBA numbers are down right now, specifically because of COVID and politics. And I love the NBA, but like it just is what it is.
Yeah, just like football,
Secondly,
politics
yeah,
starts waking its way in, and then it just
right,
stirs the pot.
exactly. So with that being said, right, the LCS specifically is in a really interesting spot because one, their game is always going to be pandemic safe, right? They can always
Yeah.
do these events and compete online. Players cannot, right? Two, they don't need crowds. The crowds come through internet numbers, right? That are already
Hmm.
conditioned to do so, unlike boomers who getting them to go watch something on Twitch or XYZ would be impossible. But here's the bigger thing, right? They have ingrained themselves in everything. They've already done it. That's what I'm saying, right? So think about it, right? They made it into they're an Olympic sport, right? They're all over the world. They have I mean they are legitimately respected. They're on TV. They're legitimate I'm on ESPN. On ESPN. They're legitimately respected already as that kind of a force or
Yeah.
whatever, right? And they're only getting bigger. So why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's why I say that I think there's actually a strong case that, especially given the environments that we're in and the things we've been exposed to, Twitch numbers skyrocketed to
Definitely
numbers we
because
have
of the
never
pandemic.
seen because of the pandemic, right?
Yep.
And because of that, that also lets us know that there are a whole new wave of people who never gave a fuck about the internet, right? Who now give a fuck about the internet simply because they were forced to, right? So
Yeah.
the market's even bigger. I actually, and the fact that League, I just clicked on League a second ago, they're still always number one. They're like always consistently in the top five of the conversation on Twitch. They've never
Yeah.
not been. Like
The
they
only
know
time
what
they
they're
aren't
doing.
is when there's something like, let's like Street Fighter
Yeah, like a
tournament or
tournament or
something,
something. Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
a,
yeah. But then
a
if they throw a
GDQ will
tournament,
push games up and stuff too.
right, right. But if they throw a tournament, then everybody's going to sleep. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, so, but that's my point, right? And so yeah, I think that like, I do think that they're here to stay. I do think they'll be here for a long time. They've made okay. Example, they've made their way into schools, bro. You can go to college now at the schools, universities here. You can get a degree, not a degree, a scholarship for playing League. All I have to do is fucking be diamond, and which by the way am. I just don't care to go back to school right now. But all you have to do is be diamond, and you can get a fucking scholarship for joining their team.
Bro,
What?
what?
Oh, this is it. Oh, check, dude. Wait, where do you live?
Hold on,
It's on
don't
almost
get
every
me in
state.
this Vefy, dude. I might lose some more time on my
Listen,
life
I'll
because
red
I
pill
think
you,
I can
bro.
hit
I'll
it,
red
but
pill you so
oh
hard.
my god, dude, that's
But
just
if you need to keep the blue pill, I understand, bro. If you got to stay away from the crack cocaine, I get it, bro. It's a problem. It's a lifestyle. You know it is. I'm itching as we're
yes.
talking. Okay, your turn. You go ahead and
So
spit that fire.
so the reason why I think League holds that opposed to or in comparison to NBA, NBA blows my mind, or any of those sports that have just made it on a national level. Football, I will
Right,
not
right.
say because it's more on our country, but soccer has been
Yeah, soccer
fundamentally
made
the
it.
same for a very long time, and so many people are involved in it, and so many people love it. Now, I can't speak
Right.
on behalf of soccer because I don't watch it. I think it's kind of stale to me, but I know there's people
Yeah.
that's their life.
Well, they would argue that
Basketball,
that's football.
pardon?
I said they would argue that's actually football.
Yeah, I
But
get
sorry, go
that,
ahead.
and
I'm
I
just
just
trolling. I'm
can't
trolling.
comment on that world. But I thought I'd mention it
Yeah.
as a national sport. So basketball, which is a little bit more globally accepted, to me is
Yeah.
entertaining because even though the rules are the same, basketball is a showman sport. like through and through. Like your
Yeah,
fadeaway,
yeah.
your dunking, your posterizing. There's a lot of emotion in it. Like when you can tell when
It
somebody's in
is
the
a
zone
very
and when
emotional
they're
sport,
just
isn't
when
it?
they're hitting their flow, or even just when they're like, for example, there's people that just have it. Like when you see Kyrie Irving shoot, and it's an art. Like you can see an art form, and I think some people can dial in on that in various sports. And I think football or soccer has the exact same thing. When someone like when
Yeah,
Beckham or the Arsenals are on, and you can just see that the shots are landing where they're putting them and passes. Like there's an art form
right.
to it. So they
No,
all
I agree.
survive through art form. But I think NBA is like the very well crafted, like it's like the epitome of like a show sport in my opinion. And so even though it gets older, there's always
Not
somebody
UFC?
new making a new form of art. There is a
Yeah,
meta.
yeah. No, I get that.
Now,
Question though. I just realized something. The
what?
NBA is not worldwide. Football's not worldwide. Only soccer is
NBA is
worldwide.
in the Olympics, but it
No, no,
is
no. It's in the
just
Olympics,
I
but it's
think
not
it's almost a joke.
right.
Like I think
No,
that's
no.
what a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
say.
Hear me out there real quick, right? So it is in the Olympics. It is a respected sport. I love the NBA, right? I'm not shitting on it by saying this. What I'm
Yeah, you're
saying is,
you're
right?
you're just
I'm
telling facts.
acknowledging out
Like,
loud. No, I'm just really. I'm having a realization, right? That the NBA is only big in America. Football is only big in America.
yes.
Soccer is big everywhere. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
The LCS is big everywhere, from
Yeah.
Canada to the United States to Brazil to
Mm-hmm.
the fucking Middle East to Russia to I mean, literally everywhere. I actually think they might have already eclipsed the NBA. Am I wrong in thinking that?
No,
Is
I'm
that too
pretty sure they have. I
presumptuous?
think they
Oh my
eclipsed League of
god!
Legends eclipsed the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't. I'd have to check. So I've seen it
Wait,
eclipse
I
the
can't
Super
tell if
Bowl,
this is
but I
like,
don't know how
yeah,
it compares against FIFA's Grand Cup. That would be an
bro.
interesting stat.
If yeah, to see those stats would actually genuinely make me feel like we just pulled a gem out of this. Like just to know, not for the football, not for the NFL, and not for what was the other one?
The what?
Soccer.
Yeah.
Not for soccer or the NFL, but I want to know with the NBA specifically. I'm curious. Well, actually, no, the NFL too, right? Because that's only in for the okay. So for the sports that are only in America, I actually genuinely want to know what the statistics are,
Yes. So I
in
can tell you one
viewership
of
for their
them.
biggest tournaments. Let's check that real quick. You go first.
So I do know that I remember seeing several years ago. This might have been season 7 or season 8, maybe season 8. I won't go too
Right,
far
right,
back. And I think I was seeing that it eclipsed the Super Bowls. I was just dumbfounded. Sorry, at the hiccups. I was dumbfounded
right.
that it
You're fine.
eclipsed the Super Bowls, but also understanding. So I remember the numbers being something. I'm kind of generalizing, but I think it was like, for example, with the Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
airing, might have 40 million people watching it. Now this doesn't like count, like
Right.
people that like went over to their cousin's house or something. You know what I mean? So
Sure,
it could be
sure.
more, but they
Is this
can
active
record 40
or
million active viewers.
okay?
And then I
Yeah.
think the LCS was pulling at that time that I saw this 340 million. And I was like, that's kind of crazy
Wow.
because NFL is huge and so is the NBA, but they're also only American, whereas
So
League of Legends is 7 continents.
it's not even a question anymore. Then it's a reality. It's already in our schools, right? It's already an
Yes.
option for athletes that don't have physical prowess to be able to compete in this way now, right? I Where
Mm-hmm.
was that when I was a kid? Shit, I was going to local
Being a
tournaments.
chess
Fucking
grandmaster, maybe? I
nah,
don't
dude.
know.
I was literally going to local like GameStop tournaments, just scraping change, bro. Just literally coming in first place. Give me my money. Give me my $100, and I'm out of here. Like, and that's it. But like, imagine being able to be like, nah, give me my 70K a year, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh, dude. Huh.
So it makes sense. Now I would like to see how it stacks up against FIFA World
I
Cup.
can't yeah, I cannot wait to listen to this back later because wow, what like I mean, genuinely, it never even dawned on me. We're sitting here like questioning the legitimacy of this, but there's no questioning to be had. I mean, it is if it hasn't already, it will
Hmm.
inevitably. The fact that it
Yeah,
is in schools is telling.
because of I think the pandemic might have. If it was in
Oh
a
yeah, that's a
conversation
tipping
of
point.
beating soccer, the
Yeah,
pandemic
yeah.
catapults it. This year. The the
How long do you
world.
think until it is the biggest sport? But sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Um, I retract
If
my
it ever
thought.
will be. Sorry,
So
you said
I
what?
wanted to translate that thought about the showman sport of NBA and how League of Legends has compared is not only what you just stated, that technically anybody can do it. The people that aren't that don't have
Yep.
physical prowess can do it,
Yep.
and even the people that technically might have physical prowess, they can still do it because there's the separation
Yeah.
between macro and micro that you're very well aware of. There's people that
Yep.
can
Yep. Yep.
play Riven. They're dumb as a wall, but they can play Riven and auto cancel so well that they can just by definition win lane most times. There's
I
situations like
think
that.
I think a better like analogy for that real quick would be not Riven and more something like Yumi, right? Like where you could be a diamond Yumi main where like you just sit in a body and spam E, right? But you have like good macro of knowing like when to do that. So like
Well,
you
let me
don't
break it
have to
down.
be
The
like a
Riven would
god
be the
mechanically.
the like you're just or a Riven, Zed, maybe LeBlanc. LeBlanc's a
Mm-hmm.
mix, but those people that require micro decisions on a reaction and a button input standpoint. There's people that can
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
that by. You can consider that an athletic trait. Like you could put down
Yeah.
somebody that does, for example, like a tennis player, and they might have insane reaction time, and they might have insane muscle control to where they can mechanically do that stuff with ease. Now, they might not be a
Mm-hmm.
strategist, but they can still be successful based on those athletic capabilities. Somebody, on the other hand, who's the exact opposite, doesn't have good reaction, could never really even play like wiffle ball, they're last picked in dodgeball, you name it. He could be really smart at chess, which doesn't require that mechanical structure, and he could outplay people mentally with a character like, let's say, like Tryndamere, Malzahar mid. You said Yumi. People that
Malphite.
just know how to play the pressure and play the game that is
Malphite
League of Legends.
abusers.
Do you vibe with that?
Yeah, no, I absolutely, completely and utterly vibe with that. I think that is true. I think it's really interesting the way that they have champs that, like, I'm not saying this ironically that you don't like you literally don't need your arms to play. Like you could actually play with your feet. People
Yeah.
have done this, have duoed
Yeah.
with themselves in solo queue. So this is not like some kind of like
Yeah.
jab at people who can't. Like literally, legitimately can play with your feet and get to diamond.